This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
17th edition of the match was canceled off the pay-per-view. It was a four-way number one contenders match, which is going to happen in a four-way, all right, but it's not a tag match. The Naturals get the win, but there's a tease beginning that you might be breaking up America's Most Wanted. Why the choice to do a four-way singles match for a tag team title number one contender match? That reads like a fever dream.
You're carving it up today, pal. Doing the recall on this and trying to think through it. Not the only thing, what I believe we were trying to accomplish is the fire took place. So that pushed everything downhill, but I'm not going to say that we didn't already have, as opposed to what we needed was a number one contenders. So let's, instead of making it a single, make it a four-way, just another creative way to create a number one contender. And as we all know, you can still have title switches and a guy sitting over here or a team sitting over here, and hey, they're still the number one contender. And it doesn't say they're booked to wrestle this person. It says they get a shot at the titles when the opportunity comes along. So that's how I recalled it and read through it and tried to think through it to the best of my recollection, Conrad. And I hope that's okay with you today.
Oh, that's great with me today. So the August 24th edition of the show, we would see LAX defeat AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels to win the tag team titles. So you have this match the week before for a number one contenders match, but they're not even in the match here when the titles change hands. And those number one contenders, the Naturals, they lose in the match after to Alex Shelley and Johnny Devine. Boy, this is some 50-50 booking here, is it not?
Boy, it is. And it read that way in the notes. And again, we're at 1 hour on Spike, knowing that sort of got to keep the wheels on the tracks. And the tag team, LAX was at the very top. And at this time, AJ and Daniels were at the very top. And a lot of talent, man. We had a lot of talent for a 1 hour show. When I think back and I've looked at some of the notes, Hard Justice, No Surrender, just sort of during this era, we had a lot of talent. So it wasn't the easiest to satisfy everyone. And you never can, ever. But it was very difficult at this time.
Next up, we get the Naturals, Andy Douglas and Chase Stevens. They win a tag team battle royal in 1405. The teams were Shark Boy and Norman Smiley, Johnny Devine and Alex Shelley, David Young and Elix Skipper, AMW, the Naturals, Ron Killings and Lance Hoyt, Maverick Matt and Kazarian, and the James Gang. So it's a regular battle royal until there's only two men left, and then it turns into the old tag match. It gets down to AMW versus the Naturals. Of course, Stevens is injured. So the James Gang comes back in. It winds up with Storm taking over Douglas with the Whirlybird. He then goes to do the same thing on Stevens, and Stevens schoolboys him out of nowhere. Fans did pop for the Naturals winning, and Shane Douglas came out to congratulate him. 2 stars. Kind of a big moment for the Naturals here. Some TNA originals, right?
Yeah. And Shane Douglas coming out. If I remember correctly, we were going to pair them up and head off in that tag team. And again, moving to 2 hours, we had multiple tag teams, and Chase and Andy were a really good team.
Next up.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.